Vale de Cambra in Portugal, halfway through round 2 of the Maxis FIM Enduro World Championship. With Jamie McCanny struggling through injury, Loic Larrieux was able to improve on his day 1 performance and end day 2 third in the junior class. Another solid ride from Giacomo Redondi as he found himself little errors like this one. The Frenchman caught out with fatigue, playing a big part in this spill. He eventually got going, but his misfortune cost Betriou behind him. The Spaniard unable to avoid hitting the back of the Sherco. Tara eventually complained his second 5th place finish of the weekend, with compatriot and fellow Sherco rider Anthony Boissier repeating his 4th place of 24 hours earlier. Boissier ending the day over a minute off a podium placing. A crash on the first enduro test of the day was followed by another one on the 3rd extreme test for Cristobal Guerrero. However, the Spaniard pushed hard on laps 2 and 4 and he was rewarded with a 3rd place finish. Once again, Aero Ramirez repeated his best result of the season so far. His quest helped by the fact that he didn't drop the TM at all on day 2 and so was rewarded with runner-up position. There's no doubting Christophe Nambertin is settling into the Enduro 1 class. After an unsteady day 1, this was an almost faultless display from the Frenchman, on his way to victory by more than 80 seconds. So let's take a look at the second results board for the E1 class then, and the gaps tell their own story. 1 minute 20, 6 seconds, 4 seconds, 3 seconds and 6 again. This was definitely Nambertin's day.
It was okay, just a little bit tired. It was a hard race. The rally was difficult, and 4 laps it's hard, but now I'm happy. I follow a big fight in E2, and congratulations to Antoine and Pella, because it was very fast today.
Unsurprisingly, the Frenchman tops the points table as well, and interestingly, it's all very close behind him here too. Are we seeing the shape of the season already? The Enduro 2 class is undoubtedly the strongest of the 3 main ones. Last time out in Spain, we had different winners on each day, and this weekend in Portugal, it was even tighter. Oriol Manor had finished day 1 in 5th place. Today, his final finishing position was a consistent 6th, and that result means he will head off to the next round in Greece, 6th in the overall standings as well. As he was in Spain, Jonathan Barragan was much better on day 2, this time a 5th place finish following an 8th 24 hours earlier. After injuring his arm a month ago, Johnny Aubert, still not quite fully fit. The Frenchman had a 4th place finish on day 1. He matched that performance the second time around. Into service halfway through the day, and the pain that was visible on Aubert's face actually couldn't match that of Alex Salvini.
51. Et lui, il fait 56.
The Italian was having to take 2 pain-killing injections a day just to be able to take part. 3rd place, the Honda Riders' reward behind Pella Rene. No victory this time around for the Frenchman following his success in Spain. Leading with 2 stages to go, he crashed twice in the cross test, which saw his 12-second lead crumble to dust. René's misfortune became Antoine Mayo's good fortune. The championship leader had 2 falls in the extreme test, and it looked like his hopes of victory had gone until the race-deciding penultimate, backed up by some very fast times from the KTM rider. Very tight between first and second place then, and after the big gap back to third, it closes up again. Looks like this will be a tough year in E2.
Today was hard for the main, more than the race, because I did a lot of mistakes. I crashed 2 times in extreme. I continued to push, and in the end I arrived to win, so that was very, very important today. It's more than the speed now, because we have the same speed now. It's the main, and who is more strong, I think, wins. So it was very important to win there and to keep the lead.
This is what he's talking about points-wise. René 8 points adrift in second, Ober 11 behind that. It's starting to spread out below them, but only a little. It's not been the start of the campaign Joachim Lundgren had been anticipating. Now a lingering injury from Spain caused him to retire early. Despite Lundgren's despair, there were still plenty of happy faces. Series leader Ivan Cervantes increased his pace as the day went on, and by the midway point he'd built a comfortable advantage.
Ivan, it's going tough.
Yeah, Matthew is in front for little 3 seconds, and I push a lot now in the extreme test, make very, very good time, and I'm waiting for his time. And well, now I am in the middle of the race, and now it's time to starting to push a little bit more.
Jeremy Joly on his way to a 6th place finish, a result which leaves the French KTM rider 7th in the championship. Matthias Bellino, the only rider on a 500 4-stroke in Enduro 3, and he was disappointed to end the day 5th overall. Riding in front of his home fans, Luis Carrera was tantalisingly close to giving them a podium result. The beta rider was solid throughout the day and eventually missed out on a rostrum position by just 1 second. Pat Phillips had been the early leader until he was passed by teammate Cervantes. The Australian then encountered bike problems at the start of lap 3 of the 4. Later on, he said he'd struggled in the extreme section anyway and felt it was probably that which had cost him the race. Second place, Matti Sestola on the Sherco, the Finnish rider, much more settled than he had been on the previous day, and he said that was due to better lines emerging on the tests. There were no crashes for the Finn as he battled and pushed his way across the Portuguese terrain, eventually passing Phillips on the last extreme test, ending up just a second quicker overall. But there was no catching Ivan Cervantes, who looked to get quicker and stronger as the day went on. By the end of the day, with everyone behind him squabbling over second place, he built up a 17-second margin over Sestola. That makes it 4 wins out of 4 so far this season for the KTM rider, and the Spaniard seemingly on his way to yet another Enduro World Championship title, even at this early stage in the season. Final results then, very close between 2nd, 3rd and 4th, and the big gaps start to appear from 5th downwards, but Cervantes, clearly the class rider again today.
I'm very, very happy. 4 races, 4 victories. It's an amazing session for me in the moment. I don't have words. For me, it's wonderful. The bike are working really good, and the team make a very good job, and it's amazing.
It's a good lead in the points, of course. Australia's Matt Phillips in pursuit, but he'll need to make no mistakes next time out, or the Spaniard will really start to pull away. It's been an interesting weekend here in Vale de Cambra, and it's hard to avoid the feeling that the gauntlet is down in all 3 classes. Who can rise to the challenge? And with that, it's Ate Nastade, Portugal, and Calimera Calambacca in Greece for round 3 in no time at all.